ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the first trading room for this week. It's a Tuesday today, the 2nd of July, or no, not July, but June, the 2nd of June. The 2nd of June. Welcome back, everyone. 3 minutes after 2. Welcome back to the trading room. We're going to get started. There's a lot to talk about. Last week, we didn't have any trading rooms as we were at the FMAS. So thank you to everyone who showed up at the FMAS. It was great to meet you guys. Hope you guys got what you went there for. So yeah, guys, we are back to business, back to regular programming. I've got my brother Ash, who you guys will see on Friday. All right. This coming Friday, we've got the NFP. We are preparing for the NFP. This is going to be at 2 p.m. So do join us. Do join us this coming Friday at 2 p.m. on YouTube, as we will be looking at the non-farm payrolls for the month of May, right? So yeah, my brother Ash will be there as well. But for today and this coming Thursday, I'll be with you guys, Trading Room. We're going to have a look at how the markets has been moving, how the markets has been reacting to what has been happening, all right? I trust and I hope that my sound is good, right? Maybe you guys will let me know if the sound is good, but I do believe that the sound is good. I do believe that the sound is good, all right? Great stuff. So let's get the formalities out of the way. Remember, you guys can open up an account with us on tdmarkets.com. That is our website. That is tdmarkets.com. Sign up for an account. Sound is too low. All right, let's do this. All right, there we go. The sound should be good now. But just let me know if the sound is still too low or not. Do let me know if the sound is too low or not. Let's see. Let's see. Sound good, everyone? Is the sound good? All right. Okay, I'm getting mixed responses here. Let me just increase the volume just a little bit, and now it should be better. It should be better. So just confirm if the sound is better, right? It's good now. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. So we're gonna get on with the charts, guys. As I was saying, you can sign up for an account on tdmarkets.com, and then we will hook you up with some trading education. All right, the TD Markets Academy trading education. Yeah. So in terms of the sound, my voice might be a little bit low. All right. But the volume on the system is high enough. All right. Great stuff. Let's do this. There we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, all right, the markets has been moving. I'm sure you guys have been up to date on what is happening. The markets are still being dominated by the Middle East. You know, I think I'm not the only one to say that at this point. I think we've had it with the war in the Middle East, right? I think we've had it. I hope I'm not the only one, because what's happening right now is the US president tells reporters that Iran is knocking on the door, Iran wants to make a deal, Iran are at the table and all of that. But on the other end, on the other side, Iran says no, We have not done that. Iran has even cut indirect communication with Washington. All right. So yeah, I mean the market is still dominated by the Middle East tension. So I think at this point, I think we've had enough. I think we've had enough, right? We want to see this thing getting resolved. We want to see the market moving the way they should be moving, because one post, the market changes. One update, the market changes. So personally, I just want to see the market going back to its normality, going back to its proper structure, right? But we can't deny the fact that the market, the war still dominating the market. So whatever you do, just make sure that you're up to date with what's happening with the war. All right. Of course, the news that's gonna make headlines this week is the U.S. non-farm payrolls. That's gonna make headlines this week, right? So this coming Friday, we are gonna be doing a session on that. So do not miss out on Friday at 2 p.m. NFP is dominating or making headlines this week. All right. So let's have a look at the technicals. What are you guys looking at? Maybe let's start there, right? What are you guys trading? What are you guys looking at? I've prepared some charts for this session. We're gonna have a look at some opportunities one can catch. But let's first start with you guys. What are you watching? Right? Where should we start? What are we looking at? Let's see. What are we looking at? All right. On the chat, let's see, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Just waiting for you guys just to type on the chat, and then we'll take it from there. USD JPY. No, listen, USD JPY is ready to move now. All right, it's ready to move. I was actually looking at the chart. I was actually looking at the JPY pairs. USD JPY is really, really, really looking good for some upside. I think it's ready to move. All right. I'm gonna go through the chart. But nothing has changed, guys. Right? Remember on USD JPY, we said that, look, this is our target. All right, let me just go to the weekly. Remember, we said that USD JPY is going back to this high. This is the 2024 June 2024 high at 161.9. 161.9. All right, at the moment market is trading on 159.7. so this looks likely to complete this cycle and head back to 161. That is still our target. All right. If you take a look at your structure, you will notice that price is broken above this area here. Right. The last time we spoke about this, guys, we said that the market is going back to this high. The market is going back to the structure. The last time we spoke about that. And if the market breaks the structure, then we are looking at this possibility now. We're looking at this possibility. All right. So look at where the market is right now. The trend is very bullish. Price, there's a lot of demand, upward pressure. And so as long as price has broken above the zone, any retracements from that point on, I think they are going to set for some good trading opportunities. All right. So yeah, so USD JPY, we've got our target on 161.9. We also have 160, right? This 160 level. We also have the 160 level. Let me just put the prices there. Let me put the price. There we go. 160.7 as well as 161 point, let's say 0.9. That's where the market is headed. All right. So yeah, so USD JPY, I think this is one of the charts that we have really looked and focused on. All right, looked and focused on. So near-term target 160.7. If it breaks that, 161. Very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. All right. So that is your USD JPY. In fact, right? Remember we spoke about the JPY pairs, and one of the JPY pairs was Euro JPY. All right. I can see on the chat right now there is silver. We've got Bitcoin, Dow Jones. We're gonna have a look at those. All right. So, but since we're on the JPY right now, I just want to look at other JPY pairs we've spoken about. Euro JPY. Look at how nice Euro JPY is looking right now. Exactly what we've been talking about, right? I'm on the daily time frame now, and we are looking at price heading back to 188. 188. There we go. Yeah, around 187, 188. That is our target. So exactly what you're looking for on USD JPY is the same you would look for on Euro JPY. All right. The structure remains bullish. The structure remains bullish. We can see that we've had some nice corrections forming, some trading opportunities towards the upside. So right now we're looking for another correction. All right, let me do this. Yeah, right now we're looking for another correction. So if price was to correct, then we are looking at a continuation towards the upside. All right, so that is Euro JPY. USD JPY, Euro JPY, they remain bullish. They remain bullish. They remain bullish, right? If you look at NZD JPY, let me just remind you guys what we spoke about on NZD JPY. All right, the ultimate target we have is on this high. That's NZD JPY, right? You and I have spoken about this before, and then we said it doesn't seem like price is going to change direction. Therefore, our overall target is around 98.8. That is NZD JPY. And then we had a near-term target. A near-term target which was on 94.6. 94.6. That was our short-term target. Now look at where price is right now. If there's anyone who's looking at NZD JPY right now, look at where it is. This move is done. This move is done, right? So now we are about to create a new cycle. So this cycle is complete. We are about to create a new cycle. But whatever the case is, or whatever the case may be, we remain bullish. We remain bullish. We're just waiting for a new cycle to form so that it can give us a continuation, right? In other words, we're looking for a continuation of this trend, right? We're looking for a continuation of this trend here, right? So if it forms a correction, we are setting up for a continuation. You see how it is? That is NZD JPY. So yeah, so Euro yen, NZD JPY, USD JPY. The JPY is under pressure at the moment. So we're also going to have a look at GBP JPY, but the JPY is under pressure at the moment. All right. All right. So that is USD JPY. Let's see. The market in 2026 runs on fear and hype. I've been looking at Dow Jones uptrend. Dow Jones uptrend. We spoke about it. Remember we said Dow Jones is going back to this top. It is going back to this top. All right, there we go. So look at where it is right now, right? So what's happening right now, if you look at Nasdaq, if you look at S&P 500, Dow Jones, you will notice that they are reaching for new highs, new record highs, right? The tech industry is pumping at the moment. It's pumping at the moment. Indices, stocks are very high at the moment. So we can expect or anticipate US 30 to continue what it's doing right now. We don't see any reversal on US 30 at the moment. We don't see any reversal on Nasdaq, S&P 500. The tech industry is very positive. So US 30 Dow Jones, the cycle is done. The weekly cycle is done. The weekly cycle is complete. All right. So what's next? What's next is the trend to still continue pushing towards the upside. The trend to still continue pushing towards the upside. That's it. So at the moment, as you can see, price is bouncing from this high, but it doesn't mean that we are reversing. No, we're still looking for more continuation. You see how it is. So Dow Jones has been in a strong uptrend. It's all a matter of waiting for good setups, right? Waiting for high probability trade entries. But this is still very bullish, all right? If you look at NASDAQ, right? You see what NASDAQ did. I mean, NASDAQ has been respecting our analysis, from these lows going up and then followed by this break going up. You see how it went back to the target we spoke about. So look at where it is right now. It is, if you look at the daily time frame, guys, NASDAQ, it's currently trading in no man's land, right? In no man's land. This is where a lot of people can have FOMO. You see that? This is where a lot of people can have FOMO. So it's trading at no man's land. So I don't think there is a decent trade opportunity on NASDAQ right now. Provided if you are looking, or if you're looking at lower time frames, obviously you are gonna get some trades. But looking at like your 4 hour, 1 hour, I don't think there's gonna be a decent trade opportunity unless we get a bit of a correction before this, right? I think a decent trade opportunity is going to come when you have these sorts of corrections, all right? So yeah, so NASDAQ trading in the wilderness. We're just waiting for a correction before we can continue. So maybe on Thursday, let's see this coming Thursday how NASDAQ is going to look. S&P 500 as well. Look at what it's doing. No decent trade opportunity. Why? Because it is in the wilderness. So rather we wait for a correction before we can look to trade or jump in the trend. That is where a decent opportunity is going to come. So at the moment, it's all about waiting now, right? We're just waiting. I would rather have the market doing this. I would rather have the market giving us this. You see how it is. So yeah, so anybody looking at S&P 500, NASDAQ, I think right now we're just waiting. So this coming Thursday, let's see if there's going to be changes or not. What do you mean by cycle? Okay, so let me explain what I mean by cycle, right? Just a short snippet of the TD Markets Academy. So market moves in cycles. Right, or let me not say market, but let's talk about the trend. Let me simplify it. You look at the trend like this. Right? A trend moves in cycles. A trend does not move randomly. The highs and lows the market creates is not a random movement. No, it is part of a cycle. So for a trend to create higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, it is as a result of a cycle. Right? Now, what that cycle does is that it confirms to you and I what phase the market is in right now. Are we in an impulsive phase or are we in a corrective phase? That's what it confirms. Secondly, we are able to align our positions accordingly. What do I mean by that? You see, in a trend, there's an opportunity for you to scalp and there's an opportunity for you to swing the trend. Now, swinging the trend is when you are trading in the direction of the trend. If you want to scalp the trend, is when the market is correcting. You can scalp the correction. But if you want to swing, you would want to swing in the direction of the trend. So understanding a cycle will help us position ourselves, right? It will help us to identify where we should scalp and when we should swing, all right? And thirdly, it will help us to know at that point in time, where is the market in right now? You see this trend. I'm going to make an example with this. You see this trend. We can see that price has been going up. We can all see that price is here right now. But now the question is, yes, price is there, but within this trend, where is the market trading within this trend? That is the question. Yes, we can see that price is on 30,528, whatever. But what is that phase called? That is what the cycle helps us with. So that's what I mean by cycle. All right. So that's basically it. So NASDAQ, US 30, the cycles are done. Let's wait for the new cycle. All right. But yeah, I do agree with you. So in 2026, the market has just been volatile. There's just been volatility. But remember, this is as a result of the war that is impacting oil, as a result impacting commodities, as a result impacting the dollar and the CAD as well, right? So things are out of place at the moment. They're out of place. So that's why higher time frames will then be very important. Around this time, higher time frames are so much important. Silver. Let's have a look at what silver is doing. We spoke about silver the last time, and we said that this was the view on silver, provided that things don't change in the Middle East. You see how it is? Provided that things don't change in the Middle East. Now look what has happened. Silver has broken below. It has broken below, right? So now this is what we still want to see. We still want to see silver coming back down one more time. One more time. If things don't change, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, hopes of a ceasefire, hopes of peace talks, right? The markets are sensitive to that at the moment. So now gold and silver have been pushing down because of the markets trying to price in the possible outcome of the peace talks. All right. Oil and silver, the market has been pricing in that, but that hasn't happened, right? We don't have peace talks right now, so anything can change. Anything can change. So according to what we spoke about on silver the last time, is that we anticipate silver to break towards the downside. So at the moment, it's consolidating, correcting. So I think let's give it a day or two. Let's give it a day or two, right? But short term, I can see that short term, silver is headed back to these highs. Let me show you. Let me show you quickly. I'm on the 1 hour time frame, all right? So this is the low. Short term, I can see silver is headed back to this high. To that high. So that is around 78.9, around there, right? So before we go down, silver first to visit that top because of this formation. This is a formation right here. So we need one more top. So that is short term where we see silver is gonna go. And then from there we'll then come back and reanalyze and see if price is ready to go down as yet. Right? We'll see that afterwards. But for now, this is what we are looking at. All right. So that is how silver's looking. Bitcoin, I'm in a sell already. Yeah, no, look, Bitcoin, we spoke about Bitcoin. My goodness. If you guys remember the analysis on Bitcoin, all right, we said that Bitcoin is most likely, at the time it was correcting, we said that Bitcoin is most likely going to come back down to this area, this blue area, that blue area, all right? And then from that blue area, we'll come back and reanalyze. So look what happened. It gave us a continuation again towards the downside. A continuation towards the downside. So there is a lot of pressure on Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. The markets were pricing in a possible result of or outcome of the crypto market structure bill, which we thought would be signed at this point, but it's not signed. All right. So now the market, this is what it's doing right now. We don't know when the bill is going to be signed. So right now we just follow the whales. All right. So this is what Bitcoin is doing. So look at where it is right now. It has already broken towards the downside. It has already broken towards the downside. So a lot of downside on Bitcoin is expected. A lot of downside on Bitcoin is expected. All right. So it, according to the structure, it could go all the way down to it could go all the way down to 60,000 again. It could go all the way down to 60,000. At the moment, it's on 69,000. So we're going to take it one bit at a time. The next target, or the next area we see Bitcoin heading to, is 65,000. 65,000, that's the next stop on Bitcoin. All right, and then we'll come back. But yeah, Bitcoin has been moving proper. All right. Since yesterday, I've been holding. Sam, are you holding a buy on Euro JPY? Update on Bitcoin. Yeah, this is what Bitcoin is doing. A bit of more downside. So let's look at 65,000. Bitcoin heading down to 65,000. But if you're looking at Euro JPY, you should be holding a long on Euro JPY. All right. Euro AUD, Euro USD. Let's have a look. So Euro AUD is giving us a pattern here, right? So this is, we already spoke about this. So what's happening right now is Euro AUD is giving us, is forming a pattern. So look at where this pattern is forming. It is forming on the double bottom we got. So we got the double bottom, we got this pattern. So I would anticipate from here on, I would anticipate one more push towards the upside, right? According to this, you've got your impulsive move that broke out, right? After the rejection on the support and impulsive move, you've got the correction. So from these lows, from anywhere around these lows, right? I would look for a continuation towards the upside. Maybe back to this high. Maybe back to this high. Yeah. Back to that high. So one more push up, back to that high. There we go. So what needs to happen here is that the market first needs to create a low. It first needs to give us a low, right? It might still go down just a little bit, just to complete the move, give us a low, and then from there, give us the next impulse, right? So this is the pattern we're seeing on Euro, on the 4-hour chart on Euro AUD. One more push towards the upside. All right. You are holding a buy, Sam. All right. No, that's good. That's good. So Euro AUD, that's how we're looking. Euro USD. Let's go to Euro USD. There we go. So Euro USD, right? Euro USD is pushing up as per the previous analysis. And the pattern we're seeing on Euro USD and Euro AUD is similar. You see how we had this impulsive move up and the market move gave us a correction. So from here on, we are looking for this. All right. Price going back to the resistance trend line, or breaking and going back up. So anywhere around this area, just anywhere around this area, right? Looking for price to push back to either the trend line or a break to the previous to that previous high. So that is how this hasn't changed, right? Euro USD has not changed. So Euro AUD, the pattern we're seeing on Euro AUD and Euro USD is a bullish continuation pattern, similar effect and reaction. All right. The next one, GBP Swiss. Let's see. It's been a while since I looked at GBP Swiss. All right, so let's have a look at GBP Swiss. Yeah, I mean, GBP Swiss has not changed. All right, GBP Swiss, it's still trading within the structure. It's still trading within the structure towards the downside, so it hasn't changed, right? What has happened recently is that price has broken back below this structure. price is broken back below the structure, so then that becomes a resistance. All right. So according to this now, we would then anticipate and look for a continuation down. You see that? So we have this lower high that price is formed right from the previous lower high. So from there on, this is our resistance now. This is our resistance now. So from that resistance there, I think with the current price action, one would look for a retest of this. So should price retest this area, then this is going to give us one more push, right? This is going to give us this an opportunity to get this move down. Right? So all we need now is for price to retest this. All we need is for price to retest this before we go down. So that is pound Swiss. That's how pound Swiss is looking. And then pound NZD, let's see. Pound NZD. Where is it? Okay, so here's what pound NZD is doing. So the last time we spoke about this move, all right, this move towards the upside didn't go all the way back there, but this is what's happening right now. All right, let me show you this. The structure has not changed, right? The structure has not changed. So we're still trading within this, like that. All right. So this is the sort of like the formation we're seeing here. So look at where the market bounced from. It bounced from this low, right? It bounced from the low of the trend line. So this was happening right now. So the move to the upside has not changed, right? It has not changed. So right now, what I would say is a short-term rally back to the structure. Right now, the market is headed back to the structure right now. Back to the structure. And then from there on, we will then wait for further confirmation from there on. So this is how GBP NZD is looking at the moment. Price has rebounded from the support of this pattern, and we can see this aggressive push towards the upside. All right. So the structure which is closest to where price is this one. So definitely this structure is attracting the market. So one more push back to that, and then we'll come back and talk about this. But for now, one more push back to this area. One more push back to that area. All right. So that is GBP NZD. Gold. Let's have a look at gold. Gold, last time I saw it, it was consolidating. It was consolidating here, right? Look what gold did, guys. It went down to this low. It went up, right? We spoke about gold giving us this possibility. It went up. So at the moment, what is happening now, right? What's happening now is that gold seems like with the current price action, it seems like it's going to go back to 4,590. Yeah, this area, 4,590. Right, that's where gold is headed at the moment, 4,590. So this is simply a continuation now, a continuation of this. There we go. So from this point on, one more push back there, which could easily do this, right? At this point, gold could easily go up like this. Right, but for now, 4,590, that is the target. And if it breaks that, then we're going to look for this possibility once it breaks that. You see how it is? So for now, let's have a look at that 4,590 as the target. So that is how gold is looking. German 30, my goodness, look at German 30, guys. Look at German 30. We spoke about German 30 on the previous sessions, and we were always bullish We were always bullish. Look at where it is. Look at where it's going. It's about to hit this zone, the target we spoke about the last time. The target we spoke about, right? So the analysis hasn't changed. The analysis hasn't changed, right? So what's happening right now here is that there's a correction that's happening. So according to this correction, price might go down one more time to complete the correction before it gives a continuation. The direction we're looking for, remember, the direction we're looking for here is upside. We're looking for some upside. So now with this correction we're seeing right now is that the market may come back down here one more time to complete the correction, right? Something like this. Something like this. So we could see price coming back down here before we go up, or where the market is, we could see price going up, right? So the correction, maybe the correction is done. If the correction is done, then we're anticipating price to go up. But if it's not done, we're likely going to get one more push down, give us a low, and then make its way towards the upside, right? So German 30 has one more push to give us towards the upside. Just one more push to give us towards the upside. So yeah, so I think that has been a brilliant setup. It's been a brilliant setup. All right. So yeah, NASDAQ, German 30, we've already spoken about NASDAQ. NASDAQ is just in no man's land. Let's wait for the correction on NASDAQ. Let us wait for the correction on NASDAQ. And then we've got oil, right? So let me look at what the UK, what Brent crude is doing. Let's see what Brent crude is doing. Remember, oil, Middle East tension, the oil price is very sensitive to the war. All right. So whatever you do, make sure that you also keep up to date with what the war is doing. All right. So the oil levels right now, looking at both WTI and Brent crude, the levels oil is trading at right now, it's not giving us a consistent price action, right? By that I mean, if you look at WTI, this is WTI, right? I'm going to remove this. So you see this level, this region on oil, it has gone back to this low. It has gone back to that low, right? So this is the low. This is where now we likely, or according to the pattern, this is where we should be getting some upside on oil. According, around the zone, according to this pattern here, some upside on oil. So short term here, let's look at the short-term move instead, right? So short-term move is we have this high, all right? We've got this high. There's a correction taking place right now. There's a correction taking place right now. We've got this high. We also have this high, right? These two highs. There we go. So you see where the market is right now. We get a higher low. We get a higher low. Then this is going to take us back to this high. So there's a correction taking place right now. We get a higher low. We are likely going to go back to that high as a short-term move, right? So that higher low I'm talking about, it could form anywhere where the market is right now, where price is at the moment, all right? Let's have a look at the Fibonacci. Yeah, I would anticipate the higher low to form anywhere around the zone, just about anywhere around the zone, for one more push back to that high there as a short-term move. This will be the same with Brent crude. So this is WTI. If you look at Brent crude, besides the war and what's happening, right? Brent crude, it hasn't really hit this high there. So what are we working with? We are working with this low. We are also working with this low. By that, I mean that we could easily get some liquidity around these areas, right? We could get liquidity around this area or liquidity around this area, these lows, okay? But besides that, according to this formation here, let me just zoom in. There we go. According to this formation here, the movement which is consistent we would get is towards the upside, right? Just like this move here, we would get sort of like a similar move towards the upside, which would go to the 78.6 of the Fibonacci. But short term, I'm gonna go to the 1 hour now. There we go. Short term, we have the following, right? Look at the structure. We have this high. We also have this high there, right? So where it is right now, remember the oil price sensitive to the Middle East tension. So anything can happen, all right? Make sure that you keep up to date with that. But according to this price action, this would be the move we would look at. One more push up. One more push up here, right? Either back to this high, back to this high, or back to this high. Anywhere from where the market is right now. All right. So yeah, so it seems like there's gonna be a bit of upward pressure on oil, a bit of upward pressure on oil, a continuation of the current structure of the current cycle. And so we want to take it one bit at a time. We want to have a look at the lower time frame in relation to the higher time frame and see if we can get some short-term movements on the lower time frame. So this is the short-term movement on oil, right? So yeah, so oil, one more push is coming, right? BTC, all right, BTC, we had a look at BTC. Euro pound, yeah, euro pound, seems like euro pound is gonna break this, right? So you see this low. I would not be surprised if euro pound breaks this low, because what's happening right now is it is trading inside this zone. It is trading inside this zone. We can see there's been bounces. So it is currently ranging at the moment, right? So looking at how the support is getting, the support is getting weak. The support is getting weak. Why am I saying that? Because we have lower highs, right? The bounce on the support is creating lower highs. Look at that. So definitely the support is getting weak. Therefore, I would not be surprised if this breaks the support towards the downside, right? Because of these lower highs, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back down and then clears out of this support, breaks below. So euro pound, yeah, looking at something like this. One more push down, one more push towards the downside, and then we'll see how far it will go. I mean, it could easily go back to the structure. It could easily go back to the structure. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But what's happening here, I wouldn't be surprised if price breaks. All right. So euro pound, I think it's going to be a great setup. I think if it breaks, it's going to be a great setup for a short maybe back to the zone. Yeah, a short back to that zone. It's going to be a great setup. All right. So that is euro pound. Euro pound. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, right? Let me see. We went over gold. The JPY pairs. Look at GBP JPY. Let's have a look at GBP JPY here. So GBP JPY has not changed. All right. This was the previous setup we spoke about. This one. So look at where it is right now. Right. So do you guys remember Euro JPY we spoke about? Yeah. Euro JPY, some upside. GBP JPY, we're looking for some upside as well. Right? So let me do this. Let me go to the daily. There we go. Beautiful price action. Beautiful price action. Beautiful price action. This is going back to this high. Right? There's about 150 pips left. This is going back to this high. So beautiful price action. Just need our setups, because The structure is still bullish. This is the structure. All right, it's still bullish. Still bullish. Right, there we go, still bullish. So this is going back to 216.5. 216.5. Let me put this here as well. Yeah, definitely. So GBP JPY headed back to this high. Euro JPY, we spoke about that. USD JPY. CAD JPY is the one that is taking its time. CAD JPY, we spoke about this and then we said it's going back to this high, right? But it's taking its time. It's taking its time because of the oil and the CAD, being affected. However, from a pure structure standpoint or perspective, this thing is bullish, right? So it can go up from where it is, or it can do this, or it might go down one more time before it goes up. The reason this might go down again is because of the pattern it's trading in. So this whole formation here is a pattern, all right? And because of this pattern, we may see CAD JPY coming back down to the bottom of the pattern, which is here, to the bottom of the pattern. Let me just put a zone here and show you guys. This is the pattern, all right? So we may see CAD JPY coming back to the bottom of the pattern to grab some orders before it goes up. All right? Or you see where it is right now. It could easily go up from where it is right now. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is a move that has higher probabilities is the one towards the upside, right? Is the one towards the upside. Any move towards the downside, it would be to complete the structure. And once the structure is complete, then we should get the continuation of this. We should get the continuation of this. You see that? So yeah, so I think CAD JPY is still a good setup. Still a good setup, just like your GBP JPY, Euro JPY. Hey, good afternoon. Is Euro AUD on a bullish? Yes, that is correct. So you look at Euro JPY, you look at Euro AUD, after this rally, right? After this rally towards the upside, it is coming down in a pattern, right? So we are looking for a continuation of the first impulse. So according to this pattern, right, we may get Euro AUD going down just a little bit to complete this pattern, and then after that going up. So this is the outlook on Euro AUD we have. According to this pattern, this is the outlook we have, which is similar to Euro USD. Right? Let's have a look at GBP USD, guys, before we forget. Don't you guys trade GBP USD anymore? Whoa. Just a second, guys. All right. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Okay, so GBP USD, right? GBP USD, let me remove this. GBP USD, great setup for some upside. Great setup for some upside. So GBP USD, let me just put this line there again. There we go. All right. So look at where the market is coming from. The market is coming from this low. All right. The market is coming from this low. We can see that's your 61.8 of the Fibonacci. So now it has resumed towards the upside. Furthermore, it has given us a demand zone. It has printed a demand zone here where we are most likely going to get some added buys. So from the 61.8 to the demand zone, that's why price is pushing up, looking at it from the daily time frame. All right, that demand zone is from the daily time frame. That 61.8 is from the daily time frame. So look at the lower time frames, right? This is easily going back to, it's easily going back to 1.35. That psychological number, 1.35. It's easily going back to that. If it breaks that 1.35 psychological number, then it's going to go back to this area here, right? It's going to go back to that area there. You see how it is? So euro, what's this? GBP USD, one more push back to 1.350. Should it break that, obviously we are looking for this to go to the zone. Looking for this to go to the zone. You see how it is? So yeah, so the GBP USDs, out there. I was also looking at EuroCAD. Let's see, I have it here. Where is it? I have it here. There we go. Yeah, so EuroCAD, this one, the last time we spoke about EuroCAD, we spoke about this move coming back down to this low. All right. The last time we spoke about it, we said this move is still going to go back down to this low. And then once it breaks this low, then we're going to come back and see what price action we get. But now look what happened. Along the way, it changed direction. So what's happening right now is the following. Because of this higher low, also because of these two higher lows, all right? But the most recent one being taking precedence, we are now looking at EuroCAD first going back to that resistance trend line, right? First going back to resistance trend line. If it breaks this resistance trend line, then we are looking at this going back to this top, back to that top. So it is right now, if it breaks that resistance trend line, we are looking at this going back to this top right there, right? So this one, unfortunately, it turned, taking a different direction. So we're not going down anymore. We're going back to the resistance trend line. This has the potential to also do this. It has the potential to do this, right? If you look at it from this perspective, it has the potential to do this. Yeah, this is the possibility right there. So, but then, well, we'll then have to wait for market to confirm this, right? But yeah, waiting for this trend line to break, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Great stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tuesday trading room. We just gone through the markets, seeing what happened last week, trying to make sense of what could happen this week. We still have the next trading room on Thursday and also the NFP on Friday. All right, on Friday. So yeah, so let's look forward to these movements, right? So there we have it, guys. Let's meet again on Thursday for another trading room, same time, same place. Don't miss out, and please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's go to 6,000, right? 6,000 subscribers. Let's go for it, right? From here on, that's it time. Guys, what time are your advanced classes? We have advanced classes at 3:30 in the afternoon as well as at 6 p.m. So our advanced classes are at 3:30 in the afternoon as well as 6 p.m. in the evening. All right. Great stuff. Cool. Guys, that's it. It has been a good session. That's it. Yeah, they are on Zoom. Right. If you wanna join the sessions, if you wanna join in the sessions, get in touch with us on care@tdmarkets.com, care@tdmarkets.com, and you know how to join the sessions, and then you will get a reply on how to join the session. You first need to have an account with TD Markets, a live account with TD Markets, and yeah, from there on you're gonna get access to the session. But get in touch with us at care@tdmarkets.com and you will receive all the information. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right, guys, that's it from my side. We'll catch you guys this coming Thursday, same time, same place. Have a good one. Enjoy, and make sure you keep warm. All right. We'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.